RVA here with a first interview. And we got my man's right here. What's your name?
Matt Williams. Matt Williams.
Matt Williams. How you doing, Matt?
Doing alright.
Where you from, Matt?
Originally from Idaho.
Idaho. What part of Idaho?
Boise area.
Shout out that Boise, yeah. Yeah. Shout him out, man. So, how'd you get here to Virginia, Richmond?
It's kind of a long story. So my background is I was kind of born into a kind of like a drug dealing biker type family, you know.
Okay.
So I was kind of raised in that lifestyle. My family had me running drugs and stuff for them when I was a kid, and I just kind of continued on into that, into adult, and I ended up going to prison. I spent a lot of time in prison in Idaho.
Oh man. If you don't mind me asking, how long you did?
Done 17 years total.
Damn.
5, like 2 nickels, and then 4. I did 4, and then I did little stints here and there on violations and stuff.
Oh man. So, do you have any siblings?
I have an older sister. She's kind of the black sheep of the family, as in she went to school, she went to college, she's doing good. She doesn't really have anything to do with anyone else in the family. The rest of my family's all pretty much passed away. My mom, my grandma, my uncle.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I never known my dad, so.
You said you never knew your dad?
No, I never knew my dad.
Oh man, sorry to hear that, man. So, growing up in Idaho, right? You said, would you say you had a fairly like your childhood? Was it like fairly good, or was it like it kind of like go into depth on like how you grew up?
I mean,
if you don't
my mom, she did the best that she could for me, being a single mom, you know. She struggled with addiction herself. You know, she had a bad drinking problem. She used to use meth, but she tried to do the best that she could for me. She ended up meeting this guy named Wayne. They got together. They were together for a long period of time. There was a lot of domestic violence that I had to grow up with. But she always kept a roof over her head. She always kept food in my belly, you know.
Yeah. So your mom's, what was that? Her boyfriend or ex-husband? You said
Which boyfriend?
So like how was your relationship? Was you able to build one with them?
Nah, we didn't get along. I didn't like him because he beat on my mom.
Oh no. Oh man. So dang, it's so many questions I want to ask, but I don't, cause alright y'all gotta excuse me, this is my first interview. I'm very appreciated to have my first interviewee, but it's so much questions that I want to ask, I just don't know how to ask them. I guess, dang, as soon as I start doing this interview, I start like getting brain freeze. You know, it's my first interview. So, alright, any like drug abuse, any?
So, I mean, for who?
No, I'm saying yourself as an adult.
Oh yeah, so my Uncle Les, well like I said, I was kind of born into a drug dealing biker family.
Okay.
My Uncle Les, he used to think it was funny to get me stoned he started getting me stoned off marijuana when I was 5. Because he'd think it's funny to get high and watch me run around stoned. I started drinking when I was 9. I started using meth when I was 13.
Oh man.
And then, like I said, most of my family pushed drugs, you know. So my cousin Aaron, he'd have me running around with pounds of meth. Like 14, 15 years old.
Oh man.
Delivering it for him and stuff like that. So that's kind of the lifestyle I grew up in, you know. That's what I knew.
Have you ever been married?
One time.
One time? How long did that last?
Not long.
What's not long?
I mean, like, we didn't actually get divorced until like a year or 2 later, but.
So roughly a year or 2?
Yeah.
Did she have any kids?
Yeah, she has some kids of her own. We got married though so that we could have inmate-to-inmate correspondence, really, because we were both going to prison. And that way we could talk to each other. That, and she also told me that she was pregnant with my kid when she really wasn't.
Oh my God. So she pretty much fabricated a story of her pregnancy, and she wasn't pregnant.
No, she was pregnant. It was with someone else. It was someone else's kid.
Oh my God. So, do you have any kids of your own?
I do.
Ages?
I have a son that's 19. I've spent his entire life in prison. I don't know him at all.
Oh
And
man.
I have another son who's 6. I've gotten to be a part of his life a little bit. He's still back in Idaho. I met this woman named Lisa. Oh my gosh, not Lisa.
Lisa. Okay. All right. All right.
There is a Lisa, but I met this woman named Natalie, and she's got 4 kids, and I sort of she's got a daughter. I took on the role of being the father for her.
Okay.
She's an amazing little girl, man. She's 13.
That's awesome.
So smart. She's such a good child. And I've been fortunate enough because I've been out for about a year and a half this time.
That's good. That's good, man.
And I've been fortunate enough to be part of her life. About it.
So you said you did 17 years in federal?
Oh, in state.
Oh, okay. So you got a 19-year-old and a 6-year-old. What would you, to your son that you never really got to build that relationship, if he was to ever run across this interview, what would you want him to know?
Just, man, Jordan, like, I'm sorry. I imagine that you probably think that you weren't important enough for me to do too right for, and I didn't care enough about you to ever stay out of prison and be a part of your life. That's just not the case. You know, I apologize that I was never there. You know, I'm sorry that I never did something more with my life while you were still a child, so that I could have been part of it.
So do you, but would you ever, if he reached out to you and wanted to build the dad-son bond, would you be up for that?
Absolutely I would.
So what, if you don't mind me asking, what made y'all relationship become so distant? Like, was it the mom? Was it just being in?
It was me, really. I mean, like, cause when I was still in Idaho, like I said, I grew up in this lifestyle of selling drugs, gang mentality type stuff.
Oh man.
You know? And so that's all that I've known. And then I started going to prison. I became affiliated with gangs inside the prison system.
Okay.
That kept me in, you know what I mean? Like, I've been flopped. There's been times where I've been denied parole.
Oh my.
And then when I get out, like, I've built such a name and reputation for myself for selling drugs and things like that back in Idaho. Like, as soon as I get out, like I said, all my family's passed away, so I have nowhere to go. Idaho, the prison system, they don't really do anything to help a person when they're getting released from prison. They just
let you go.
They just let you go door and figure it out on your own, you know. And so, like, I found myself in situations where I'm like, well, I'm either going to the homeless shelter or I'm going down the street and I'm picking up a bag of dope, and by the end of the night I know I'll have money in my pocket, I'll know I'll have a place to stay, I'll know I'll have a vehicle to use, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, like, it's kind of been an easy choice to just fall back into what I've always known.
So, excuse me. Something else I was about to ask. So, if someone was watching this video, right, and they were looking for something to take from your story, what will you say is your most important part of your story?
Most important part of my story? I don't know. I guess I guess there's two parts to it, man. Like to the kids that are involved in all the drugs and the gangs and stuff like that. Man, you're gonna grow up one day and you're gonna be 40 years old and you're gonna be looking back in your life. You're gonna be like, damn, what have I done? I've completely wasted my whole life. Because here I stand, I'm 41 now, and I have no retirement. I don't have any work history. You know what I mean? Like I don't have. So for employers, you know what I mean? Like it's hard getting a job because I don't have any work experience that I can show them.
Because you've been locked up for 17 years. Wow.
And I don't have any savings. Like, man, I'm getting to be an old man now, you know, and eventually one day I'm gonna want to retire. Well, there's no retirement for me. I have to work until I'm dead because I don't have anything. I don't have a home. I don't have a car. Like a family, like what people my age are supposed to have, you know. And then I guess for the adults and things like that, and people have the ability to change, you know. Especially for parents with kids that are going through this stuff, you know. I'd say, you know, some it may take longer than others, but eventually, usually, I feel like everyone reaches this point where they feel like it's time to grow up. You know?
That's good. That's good. That's good info for the kids and anybody else. You know what I mean? This went down a road of destruction. Like, do you believe that like you can like fix anything at your age?
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna be easy. Like I said, so when I got out this last time, I immediately started messing up again, man, and I threw away. I had a good.
All right, what you saying?
I had a good job lined up. I had a job working as a production supervisor for this potato factory back in Idaho. I had a lot of good things lined up, and I threw it all away, man. And I was just so disappointed in myself because I've reached this point where, like I said, I look back on my life and I'm just like, man, I've just wasted it all. Like sitting behind a chain link fence, you know, and so my ex, Natalie, was over here in Virginia. She was in Chesapeake, and we have a lot of history. About now going on 10 years worth of history, you know.
Y'all still together? Or it's like
she's currently in jail. Right now.
Oh, okay. Free her.
Yeah, but like I said, I kind of adopted her kids as my own.
That's good.
Her daughter, like we're real close. We talk all the time on Facebook and stuff like that. So I moved over here, and we were both clean for a little while. We were working, like things were going good. We were living in a little tiny house. Her mom and her stepdad owned.
Okay.
We got our daughter over here. Said we were going to church. Everything was going good, and then we got into a real big fight. And, she ended up leaving and relapsing.
Oh my.
And she came back and she brought some meth with her, and I relapsed. And as soon as they found out, as soon as her parents found out, they kicked us out.
Oh my God.
So we immediately became homeless on the streets of Virginia. And so we ended up continuing to use, you know, and kind of getting back into that whole lifestyle. We lived out of a U-Haul van. We rented a U-Haul van and ended up keeping it. And we lived out of it for about 9 months.
Oh wow.
Lived out of a bunch of motels and stuff, and so she's real big into opiates.
Oh, okay.
And so I ended up
going that.
Opiates, and so we were using fentanyl, and see, since I started using fentanyl, I've overdosed 6 times.
Oh my God.
And so 4 of them. Let me see. 3 of them were accidental. My first experience with it was in Washington, D.C. I didn't even realize that it was fentanyl. I thought I was using meth. I shot some up and it
took you out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And,
I don't mean to cut you on that, but it's something that's why I wanted to ask you. How long have you been homeless?
How long have I been homeless?
Yeah.
A little over a year now.
And what would you say that caused you to become homeless?
Drugs.
Drugs?
we relapsed and we got kicked out.
Okay, so let me understand. All right, you did your 17 years in jail. Came out, met a girl. Y'all was good, clean. Once they found out y'all started using again, they kicked you out.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
And it was our first relapse, you know what I mean? And maybe they could have been a little bit more lenient, but at the end of the day, like ultimately, we were responsible for
y'all selves
behaviors.
That's right.
We relapsed, and so like, ultimately we have no blame to ourselves.
So what are your plans for you to not use again? Do you have like any plans?
Yeah, I'm currently on the Suboxone program.
Okay.
So like I was saying, we relapsed. I started using fentanyl with her. I started overdosing. She was worried I was gonna die. And so we ended up moving from Virginia Beach up to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
To get away from all the fentanyl and stuff. I'll tell you what, man.
It was there too, wasn't it?
It was. Opiate addiction though is terrible.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's like a worldwide like pandemic, I would say. You know, I would say that opioids, it's a hard, I understand that drugs it's hard to get off. Once I said, like before I started talking to you, I'm a bad alcoholic. Even still now, I still get the urges to want to drink and stuff. Like, you know, I can't do it though. But I understand, man. So, what are your plans to just?
Well, so our relationship kept getting worse and worse. We started fighting more and more, and it just became toxic. You know, drugs played a huge role in it. Drugs changed both of us as people. You know.
So would you say that being in a relationship where both people are, you know, using and arguing, you saying that's a bad combination?
Absolutely. Drugs in any relationship is unhealthy, man. Usually leads to a toxic relationship.
Oh man. Well, I mean, that's all the questions I got for now. So, you know, I appreciate you, you know, doing this the first interview. Y'all tap in, this RVA Street Interviews. Tap in. Yeah.
So our relationship ended up falling apart. I ended up staying in Charlotte. She ended up coming back to Virginia, getting arrested. And I love this woman, you know.
Yeah.
It's had me fucked up real bad in my head, and so I went back to using fentanyl just because it made me feel closer to her, almost. And I ended up overdosing real bad just recently, like a week ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a week ago, and it took 5 Narcan to bring me back. They had to perform CPR on me. And they found opiates on me. When
they resuscitated, brought you back.
They took me to the hospital, and the police were wanting to charge me with possession. I gave them a fake name though, so they couldn't figure out. They were still trying to figure out who I was. And then at the hospital, I escaped from the hospital. I ran from the police, spent the night running from the police. Then ended up a friend of mine got me a bus ticket back from Charlotte over here to Richmond.
And that's how.
I got on the bus, just sicker than hell, going through opiate withdrawals. I took a 7-hour bus ride, going through withdrawal, and then I walked myself to the hospital and went through nine more hours of withdrawal in the waiting room before they finally saw me. They saw me, put me on the Suboxone program, and I moved over here so I could get my life straightened out, man.
So pretty much you've been on the straight and narrow, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I've been clean for a week now.
That's good, man. Even if nobody don't tell you, it's good. You know, like each day that you don't do anything, it's good. You feel me? But I understand, man. the urges and stuff like that. You feel me? When I guess, you know, when you feel like that, just find somebody to talk to. You know what I mean? Somebody, you know.
Yeah, I lucked out. I was real fortunate because the group of guys that I met when I got over here, kind of, because the homeless communities tend to be pretty close knit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
everybody knows everybody, and
That's right.
I ended up meeting a really good group of people that they don't use. You know, they drink a little bit.
Yeah.
That's about it. You know.
Okay.
And so they've been real supportive of me trying to get clean and get my life straightened up. and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I'm real fortunate in that matter.
Well, it was nice, you know, having this interview with you, and you know, I know it's way more questions. I'm gonna go home and study my tape and figure out next time I see you what updated questions I might have, or you know what I mean, and checking you out and stuff like that, you know. All right, hold on, let me get a picture. Gonna be the thumbnail. So if anybody wanted to donate to help donate or anything, do you have a social media, Cash App, any of that?
Yeah, I have a social media. It's Matt Williams. You can look me up. Just look up Matt Williams and then
How you
search,
spell it?
MattWilliams, and then look up Caldwell, Idaho, and you'll find my picture. I'm in a picture next to a statue of what's his name, Johnny Depp, when he's the Pirates of the Caribbean.
And that's your
That's my Facebook.
and with your Cash
My
App.
Cash App is money sign MATTY DADDY 23322.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you having this interview with us, man.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you. Have a good one.